Kidneys are dying. Are you scared to find out if your diet is harming your kidneys? Did you know that 1 in 3 adults in America are at risk of developing kidney disease? That's a staggering number, and what's even more alarming is that many people don't even realize their kidneys are in trouble until it's too late. Our kidneys are these amazing little bean-shaped organs working tirelessly behind the scenes, filtering our blood, removing waste products, and keeping our bodies in tip-top shape. But here's the thing. What we eat plays a huge role in keeping those kidneys healthy. Just like a car needs the right fuel to run smoothly, our kidneys need the right nutrients to function properly. And just like putting the wrong fuel in your car can cause engine problems, eating the wrong foods can put a serious strain on your kidneys. We're going to talk about the top 7 foods that you need to watch out for to keep those kidneys happy and healthy. These are foods you might not even suspect, everyday staples that could be silently damaging your kidneys with each bite. We'll break down exactly why these foods are so harmful and what you can eat instead to support your kidney health. You don't want to miss this. Alright, let's dive right in. Our first culprit might surprise you because it's often touted as a health food: spinach. Yes, spinach. I know, it's packed with vitamins and minerals, Popeye swears by it, but here's the catch. Spinach is also high in a compound called oxalate. Oxalate, my friends, is a naturally occurring substance found in many plant-based foods, and in small amounts, it's not usually a problem. However, when we consume too much oxalate, it can bind with calcium in our urine and form kidney stones. And let me tell you, kidney stones are no joke. They can cause excruciating pain, nausea, and even blood in the urine. Now, I'm not saying you need to ditch spinach altogether. It does have its benefits. But if you have a history of kidney stones or are at increased risk for kidney problems, it's crucial to moderate your intake of spinach and other high oxalate foods. Think of it this way. Everything in moderation, right? Variety is key to a healthy diet, so instead of loading up on spinach every day, try mixing it up with other leafy greens like kale or romaine lettuce, which have lower oxalate levels. And here's a pro tip. Cooking your spinach can actually help reduce its oxalate content. So don't be afraid to toss it into your stir-fries, soups, or casseroles. Just remember, moderation is key, especially when it comes to our kidneys. Next up, we're tackling a category of foods that often gets a bad rap for various health reasons. Processed meats. Think bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli meats, all those delicious but not so healthy culprits. Now, when it comes to kidney health, the main issue with processed meats is their sky-high sodium content. You see, our kidneys play a vital role in regulating our blood pressure, and they do this by balancing the levels of sodium and fluids in our body. When we consume too much sodium, it disrupts this delicate balance, putting extra stress on our kidneys and causing them to work harder to flush out the excess salt. Over time, this constant strain can lead to kidney damage and increase the risk of high blood pressure, which is a major risk factor for kidney disease. And it's not just processed meats that are loaded with sodium. Many packaged foods, canned soups, and fast food options are also hidden sources of this sneaky culprit. So, what's the solution? The key is to be mindful of your sodium intake and choose fresh, whole foods whenever possible. Opt for lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beans, or lentils, and flavor your meals with herbs, spices, and other low-sodium seasonings instead of relying on the salt shaker. Remember, a little bit of sodium is essential for our bodies, but too much can wreak havoc on our kidneys. So be salt-savvy and choose your foods wisely. Let's talk about everyone's favorite sugary indulgence soda. Now, we all know that sugary drinks aren't exactly health foods, but they can be particularly damaging to our kidneys, especially when consumed in excess. The main culprit here is sugar, or more specifically, the excessive amounts of sugar found in these beverages. When we consume too much sugar, it overwhelms our kidneys and can lead to a condition called hyperfiltration, where the kidneys are forced to work overtime to filter out the excess glucose. Over time, this constant strain can damage the delicate filtering units in our kidneys, increasing the risk of kidney disease. And it's not just the sugar itself that's the problem. Sugary drinks are often loaded with other unhealthy ingredients like artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives that can further contribute to kidney problems. So, what's the bottom line? It's best to limit your intake of sugary sodas and other sweetened beverages as much as possible. Instead, opt for healthier alternatives like water, unsweetened tea, or sparkling water with a splash of fruit juice. Your kidneys will thank you for it. Now, you might be thinking, okay, sugary sodas are out, but what about diet sodas? They're sugar-free, so they must be better for my kidneys, right? Well, not so fast. While diet sodas may not contain sugar, they often rely on artificial sweeteners to provide that sweet taste. And these artificial sweeteners can have their own set of issues when it comes to kidney health. Research on the long-term effects of artificial sweeteners on the kidneys is still ongoing, but some studies suggest that regular consumption of these sweeteners may be linked to an increased risk of kidney decline and even kidney disease. The exact mechanisms behind this potential link aren't fully understood, but some theories suggest that artificial sweeteners may interfere with normal kidney function and contribute to oxidative stress, which can damage kidney cells. Now, I'm not saying that you need to avoid diet sodas altogether, but it's essential to be mindful of your intake and not rely on them as your primary source of hydration. Remember, water is always the best choice for quenching your thirst and supporting your overall health, including your kidney health. Let's zoom in on a specific type of soda that deserves its own spotlight when it comes to kidney health: colas. Now, we've already talked about the sugar content in sodas, but colas often contain another ingredient that can be particularly problematic for our kidneys: phosphorus. You see, phosphorus is a mineral that's naturally present in many foods, and our bodies need a certain amount of it for healthy bones, teeth, and other essential functions. However, when we consume too much phosphorus, it can put a strain on our kidneys, especially if we already have kidney problems. Colas often contain high levels of phosphoric acid, which is added to enhance their flavor and shelf life. The problem is that when our kidneys aren't functioning optimally, they have a harder time removing excess phosphorus from our blood. This can lead to a buildup of phosphorus in the body, which can then leach calcium from our bones, weaken them, and increase the risk of fractures. So, what's the takeaway? If you're concerned about your kidney health, it's best to limit your intake of colas and other phosphorus-rich beverages. Instead, opt for healthier choices like water, milk in moderation, or unsweetened tea. Let's talk about another food group that often sparks debate when it comes to health: red meat. Now, red meat can be a good source of protein, iron, and other essential nutrients. However, consuming large amounts of red meat, especially fatty cuts, can put a strain on our kidneys, especially as we age. Here's why. Protein is essential for building and repairing tissues, but when we consume more protein than our bodies need, our kidneys have to work harder to filter out the waste products of protein metabolism. Over time, this increased workload can take a toll on our kidneys, especially if we have any underlying kidney issues. Additionally, red meat is often high in saturated fat, which can contribute to high cholesterol and heart disease, both of which are risk factors for kidney disease. Now, I'm not saying you need to give up red meat entirely, but it's all about balance and moderation. Try to limit your intake of red meat to 1 to 2 servings per week and choose leaner cuts whenever possible. And remember, there are plenty of other excellent sources of protein out there, such as fish, chicken, beans, lentils, and tofu. And finally, let's talk about rhubarb, a tart and tangy vegetable that's often used in pies, jams, and other sweet treats. While rhubarb can add a delicious flavor to our dishes, it's also a significant source of oxalates, those naturally occurring compounds we discussed earlier that can contribute to kidney stone formation. Remember, when we consume too many oxalates, they can bind with calcium in our urine and form crystals that can clump together and create kidney stones. Now, rhubarb isn't the only source of oxalates. Spinach, beets, and nuts also contain them. But rhubarb's oxalate content is particularly high, so it's essential to be mindful of your intake, especially if you're at risk for kidney stones. The good news is that cooking rhubarb can help reduce its oxalate content. So, if you enjoy rhubarb, don't be afraid to include it in your diet in moderation. Just be sure to cook it thoroughly and balance it with other low-oxalate fruits and vegetables. So, there you have it, the 7 foods that could be silently sabotaging your kidney health. Remember, our kidneys are amazing organs that work tirelessly to keep our bodies clean and functioning properly. But just like any other part of our body, they need our support to thrive. By making mindful food choices and limiting our intake of these potentially harmful foods, we can give our kidneys the love they deserve and reduce our risk of kidney problems down the road. Remember, prevention is always better than cure, and taking care of our kidneys is a crucial part of living a long, healthy life. If you have any concerns about your kidney health, or are looking for personalized advice on how to support your kidneys through diet and lifestyle changes, it's always best to consult with your healthcare provider. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more health tips, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay healthy.